everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. I hope your weekend was fabulous, because you are fabulous. But you know who's not fabulous? People who air their dirty laundry on TikTok. We're talking about this crazy story. More Than Elizabeth is a TikToker who dropped a video and had no idea she was going to go viral for this video. It's this crazy video where she's making a cake and she's crying. And y'all know how I feel about influencers anyway, but this took a crazy dark turn when the ex-husband came out and did a video, and then she dropped a video. It's a wormhole, it's drama, it's tea, it's influencer culture, all wrapped up into one neat little bow. Not a neat little bow, actually. It's a gong show, and we're gonna talk about it. Let's get to it. So the video in question is on this girl's TikTok named Elizabeth, More Than Elizabeth, okay? And I was just going through her videos quickly just to see what kind of content she has. She does this a lot, like every effing influencer on earth. I gotta give it to her. She's not really a child exploiter. She does put her kid on here once in a while, but it's not about her kids, okay? She's not your typical mommy influencer, which I like. I mean, if you're going to influence, go out and influence, right? But if you're going to wear giant nails and shake your ass and be a thirst trap, people are going to comment, right? You're allowed to. That's what you got. You're putting it out there to be commented on, right? Good, bad, the ugly. It grows your channel. Now, she's getting 15,000, 20,000, you know, on a high end, like 69,000. There's one. And she's not really doing much. She's just your standard thirst trap type woman who talks about divorce, you know, kids. She lives in a nice house, all that, lip filler. She's just like every single one of them, right? And leading up to that point, you can see it start to grow. And the only reason you see some of these grow is because look at this video, 45 million views. You never know what you're going viral for, ever. My most viral video on the Dad Challenge podcast, I kid you not, is me opening a bag of milk. A bag of milk. Because that's what we do in Canada, some of us. Okay, that's my and you don't know. I didn't know that was going to go and get over 1.5 million views. That's crazy to me. Okay? So you never know what's going to hit. And the reason why these numbers are jumped up for the last 5 before the one is because it went viral, then they wanted to see what our content was like, and they only got to like this one before they're like, yeah, I don't like this. That's basically it. Okay, it boosted up a few before it, and then people were done with it. But this is the video in question. I'm going to mute the music, obviously. So being a single mom is making your own birthday cake on your birthday so that your babies can feel happy they are singing to you. And she's crying. Okay? Just use scissors. Just use scissors. Okay, she's got the music playing. And it's like, it's pretty long, actually. Just like 32 seconds of her just crying. That's it. She's not making a birthday cake, by the way. She's making cupcakes. So all that to say, I'm sorry. This is why we need the asteroid. Bring the asteroid, because this is a culture and I hate this. And this has got to stop. Just like child exploitation has to stop, people have got to stop setting up a tripod and crying in front of it. For a couple of reasons. First, have some self-respect. Okay? Have some self-respect. 2, it's fake. Okay, nobody has the time. If you're actually going through it, and everybody does to some degree, who thinks of turning a camera on? It's ridiculous, and everybody hates it. And it's becoming it's becoming taboo, pretty much. If you go in anybody's comments, if you scroll through Instagram and you see a woman crying in a car or something like that, just read the comments. Everybody's like, why are you filming this? Go get therapy. Okay? Don't film this for the internet. You're fake. Everybody hates fake people. The problem is that influencers put across this image of like, it's real, it's raw, it's this and that, but it's all fake. And it's crazy because she goes viral, massively viral for that. Okay? So she gets massively like called out online, all over TikTok, everywhere else. People were just making fun of her because this is like, there's always a straw that breaks the camel's back when it comes to this type of culture. And after this video drops, 1 million, 1,000,005, 1,000,001, 500,000, 400,000, like 2.7 million, her star explodes, right? You never know what you're going to go viral for. And if you go massively viral for 1 minute and you can capitalize on it, you can make a lot of money and grow your channel and then become somebody people like. Oh, I like this person. Oh, I like this person. Oh, I like your content, right? She'll grow. She grew to 165,000. At one point, she did take her channel down, but it's back. And I'll get to it in a second. So that goes viral. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's making fun of her because, yeah, I understand why you're making fun of her. Don't set up a camera and cry on it. Okay, let's just stop that. Cool. So they post it, and people, this guy John Lekak, I don't know, post it. It gets 12.1 million views on his TikTok, on his Twitter, X, whatever, and man explained the manual for winners. Then some updates. He gets sent an update. The video you shared of the lady making a cake has a huge unknown story about her. She's originally from Indiana, moved to Florida, and faked having cancer, where she received lots of money from people. She then disappeared for a while and came back completely fine and never mentioned it again. She also has divorced 2 men for sure, with others unknown. One of them she conned out of money by posing as an attorney during COVID times during their divorce. He's made videos of it as well. She then had 2 kids on her videos, but has 3 other kids she doesn't have custody of that live with her ex. She's actually crazy, and her whole hometown knows it and talks about it. Okay. So take that with a grain of salt. It's from an anonymous person. And then she's posts this. I don't think I knew I had the heart for the online bullying of simply being upset about your own birthday. And people were like, it's not really just about that. And then her ex-husband drops this.
So I've been sent this video a lot over the last few days. People asking my thoughts and my comments on it. And before anyone says, oh, you don't know her situation, or, you don't know what she's going through, well, I do, because I lived it. I'm her ex-husband, and right now I have full custody of our kids.
Boom. And he's presenting receipts. The parent shall follow the school calendar for Hillsborough County academic break definition when defining academic. Anyway, he's showing the father shall have all weekday and weekend times. The father shall have all holiday time sharing and academic breaks. Like, he has full custody. She has 0 custody. Now, in this type of case, everybody's like, oh my gosh, the receipts and the tea is piping hot. Right? What kind of mom loses custody of her children? And because and I know, like, I guess I get odd pushback for this for some reason. That the dad is very much never very ever favored for custody of the children in any divorce situation. And people are like, no, that's not true. It's absolutely true. That's true. Okay? And so when a mom loses full custody, doesn't get any shared custody, there's clearly something wrong because the courts do favor the mother. Do I agree with that? It depends, right? Yeah, I think the mother is really, really, really important. And generally, it's because the mom is the one not taken off and screwing up on their priorities and everything else. And that's kind of why that works that way. That's kind of like, it might be stereotypical to say the woman generally gets custody, but it's also stereotypical to say, though, it's because men generally are the dickholes in the situation. Not all the time, but it happens, right? So anyway, he's presenting receipts. Let's continue.
This is our parent agreement. As you can see, I have all weekdays and weekends, time sharing with the kids.
Yeah, the father and the father has a total of 365 overnights per year. Like, they couldn't make that spelled out more. 365.
All at holiday academic breaks. And for her to get any rights back to the kids, these are the things that she...
Whoa. Let's see. To getting rights back, the mother's completion of at her sole expense a psychiatric examination, together with substantial participation at her sole expense any psychiatric, psychological, and/or mental health treatment program. The mother must maintain gainful employment to continue a period not less than 6 months. The mother has, sounds like she's just kind of a deadbeat, right? That's what he's presenting here.
Things that she needs to do, and yes, child support. She owes.
There it is.
That
he owes her.
Up to over $21,000.
She owes him $21,000 in child support.
So she's a mother and doesn't pay child support.
Uh-oh. There's a shot of her in jail. He didn't comment on that though, which is weird.
She was then arrested for check fraud, and during that hearing, it turned out that it was found that she stole almost $1 million from another guy.
So there's the receipt for it, because you're going to hear a lot of things from people saying they don't believe this guy. So there's a receipt for it, and because it's important, because you're going to hear a lot of people coming forward after she comes out with her story about how they ignore these things, which is crazy. So she was guilty of check fraud and stole money
from another guy, and also she faked cancer in the past.
I don't know what this receipt has to do with faking cancer. It looks like some kind of scan, but I don't know what that means.
These are scans that she would send and post on her page before. So, to sum it up, this person, for people that follow her or giving her praise and telling her how strong and how, amazing she's doing, well, she's really not a full-time mom. She barely has her kids. She goes out all the time. And she doesn't even have a job even. So,
and remember when he said that, she goes out all the time.
Oh, she just really not someone that other single moms should really be looking towards that for inspiration or anything like that.
And again, I'm reiterating that he's probably upset that she's out there pretending to be a good mom when he's like, look, I'm taking care of the kids. Where's my celebration and all this stuff? And a lot of people are going to be like, you'll hear this. It doesn't sound like he's super crazy upset. He's just like, she's just not who you guys think she is. That's the vibe I'm getting from it.
There are a lot of, hardworking single moms out there, and a lot of respect to them. All I just want to say is she just isn't one of them. So hopefully everyone can see this video and know, who she really is. Peace.
Ow! Yeah, and a lot of the comments are just like, oh no, I'm going to cry. Let me get my phone, everything else. For a generation that can't find a good man, you ladies sure get pregnant a lot. Are the kids... I'm not going to read some of these. Some of these comments are really hateful. Like, I understand, like, if someone puts out a cringy-ass video, you can cringe at it. That's fine. But some people get crazy upset. Who's paying for that nice house she's in? Anyway, so he drops all these receipts. Being a single mom means having sex with an uncountable number of strangers and wondering where all the good men have gone. It's the culture we live in right now. Anyway, so he drops that video. Then he's got this website, apparently, if you go to first of all, he's removed that video from his TikTok since then. I don't know why. I see this pin video here. It says, since the last video was reported, maybe it got reported. Now, a lot of people are going to be upset because he drops that and because he's a guy. And it's like, how dare he, it's a single mom. Everybody's like, again, it's just like the courts. Single moms have like precedence. They take precedence because they're such hard workers and everything else. And I get that. I understand that, right? So that goes on. She drops that video, gets bullied on the internet a lot, and then just does videos like dancing with wine. She just, she's just letting the hate grow because it's actually growing her channel, right? All the people I cover who go through like some type of video like this, especially when it comes to children, it's odd how they capitalize on the hate. It's good, I guess. You can take it. I mean, it's entrepreneurial, right? But especially when with the kids, they'll use their kids to capitalize on the hate, and I don't like it. But she's not using her kids to do it. Being a single mom is one of the hardest things I've ever done at times. It can be so lonely. Where mama, in case, and yeah, she's obviously got the tribe. The tribe gets in behind, and then like, yeah, we're good. We're gonna cry on camera. I don't like the crying on camera. It pisses me off. We gotta stop it. Anyway, all that to say, this was 2 days ago. Last day of school, morning as a single mom. After he dropped that video. So then she drops this video, which then changes the game. Get ready.
Hi. I want to first start this video by saying this is not to bring a single bit of hate to Andrew, and I will never do that. I haven't done that.
Just do it. Just bring a single bit of hate. Who cares? And yes, it is for that reason. Just be honest with us. You should be able to defend yourself. Just stop lying about it. Yeah, you want people to hear your side of the story. You want them to hate he's wrong. If he lied about you, if he made salacious claims, yeah, go for it. Stop saying this stuff. Because 2 posts later, she posts receipts. So she is trying to.
Not on my page.
But you're allowed to be angry if what he is saying is lies. If what they're doing are lies, you're allowed to be upset with that stuff. Go for it.
And I won't do it now, no matter who he is, which has always been the case because I will never bring the parent of my children down because that's not okay for them. Putting the things on the internet for my kids to one day see because of who he is, I will never do it for them.
Okay, I'm just going to stop her there. We'll go back to it. She says, putting things on the internet for my kids to see, I'll never do it. Then not 2 posts later, she does this.
Face like at the top so I can block out the girl's personal information. But this is another girl that put a restraining order against him. Like, I think.
Okay, so she will. I just don't like the lies. Okay, she will put things on the internet against him. So let's just can we stop lying? That's all I ask. Thanks.
If you go on the website, there's actually Scientologists. I will never do it for them because it's not the right thing to do.
She did.
Andrew has created websites, TikToks, essentially everything since I left him. I think that is probably the Scientologist aspect of his life. If you go on the website, there's
stop cracking the knuckles.
Actually Scientologist links that he's added there.
She's right. There are Scientologist links. And let me be clear. Scientology is a cult. It is a cult. You think Mormons are a cult? They are a cult. Scientology is like Mormons on crack. Okay? If you know what Scientology is, it's literally an author named L. Ron Hubbard wrote a story about like a space robot that made dolls and weird shit. And that's literally what the religion is based around. I'm not joking. It's really weird that smart people like Tom Cruise, like maybe they're not smart, but it's seemingly smart people are Scientologists. It's actually crazy to me. Like that you, like, are you crazy? You must be crazy. So yes, Scientology is a cult.
I don't know if anyone is familiar with that, but getting out of a Scientologist mindset in a relationship is not a good thing and not an easy thing. Andrew is extremely abusive, and
I thought she wasn't going to disparage her children's dad on the internet. She just said she would never do that. Again, just don't start the video off with a lie is all we're asking, because you got some valid points here.
Has always been extremely abusive.
In what ways?
Laying low or staying under is essentially what I have felt a lot of years was the right thing for me to do. He told me the morning that he
sorry, I'm going to interrupt you here. You don't lay low when your children are on the line. Like, we got to put it into context, because I know a lot of women out there, and you'll see it in the comments, now that she said her story, everybody's like, oh, I believe you now, because the abusive angle that she uses, and maybe he was. But that's going to, so many women who have been abused, which is so sad, it's so true too, are going to now take her side because she used that. But if she faked cancer, and we're going to look at it in a second, what's saying that she's telling the truth now? She's disparaging him, and if it's true that he did that, then he deserves to go down for what he did too. But the courts and the evidence presented and everything else shows him having full custody of children. If he was abusive, like, I highly doubt it, he would have full custody of these children.
The video, if I deleted my social media, he would not do what he's doing. Would not destroy my life. He says that he will
That's
not.
extortion. So and there's receipts, I think, of him saying delete your social media, which, no, I know that she's cringy and everything else, but that's not his prerogative to tell her, or his like place to tell her what to do. He's got custody. He's got that stuff. What I think might be happening is she's growing a platform, and she goes viral, or she was gaining a large platform. And so he was probably putting out all the receipts preemptively. Like he's on the defensive, because he knows that eventually she's going to use her following or whatever to attack him, and she's going to tell stories and everything, so he just keeps it all out there. Or he is just a complete douchebag who hates her and wants everybody to know who she really is because they had a rough divorce, or she did something to him, or they're just both assholes, which is totally plausible here too. And so you see the problem here, right? I can see it from all angles. Like, she's growing a following, she's getting social media. He's probably scared of that. Maybe they're going to ruin. He's a doctor, an eye doctor, and maybe he's got a practice that he's got to protect, and he's got a paycheck to protect because he's the one taking care of his children. And she's driving around apparently in really nice vehicles and really living in a really nice house and not paying her child support. So I can understand why he's doing these things at the same time. But if he does them maliciously because just to be malicious, that's pretty gross too.
Take them down unless I'm off social media. So yesterday I deleted social media to try to limit access to problems. I have been so mentally not okay since that happened.
What she said there doesn't make any sense. I deleted it to mitigate this. He's got receipts that show that she faked cancer. So I hope she touches on that.
But in the state of Florida, whoever makes the most. Well, first I'll start by the custody, okay, because that's what we're all talking about. I see my children. I see all my children. I don't not see my children. I'm the one who hosts their birthday parties. I'm the one who puts them to bed. I'm the one who does everything until he pulls them away. And the reason by that is the agreement that you guys have seen online is when I first left him out of abuse,
She keeps saying it. But if that's the case and it's provable, why do you not have your children?
No resources, no money, nothing. He was a doctor. And he said, if you sign these papers, nothing will change on when you see them.
Clapping.
And
Don't ever sign papers without a lawyer. And you can go get a lawyer. Okay, even if you're poor, you can. That's the legal system will supply you a lawyer. I mean, don't ever sign a piece of paper ever. Let this just be a lesson to you.
I will not ruin your life. I will leave you alone. And so I did.
Not when it comes to children. You don't do that.
A mentally bad state of abuse and wanting it to stop. He was never hurting them. I stand by that. Mentally, he's not doing great things to them in terms of the stuff he says, but he will never hurt them.
So what she's doing is she's claiming parental alienation. He's alienating his children from their mother. That's what she's claiming here.
He's never hurt them. He will never hurt them. So I never, and I was still seeing them always, even now. He's portraying this on there, but even now.
He's portraying the legal document, which means, if you think about it for a second, he has full 365 days of custody. She has to do all these things in order to gain any custody back. She clearly hasn't done any of those things and has unpaid child support, okay? So if you think about this for a second, maybe he's a dickhole, sure. But he lets you see the kids even though he doesn't have to. So touch on that a little bit.
This whole thing started on Friday, which was the weekend of my birthday. I went to my daughters, the ones pictured in the videos, their dance recital. And I feel like I'm all over the place, but I didn't write this down because I wanted it to come from the heart.
Just like influencers who film themselves crying.
Like a script. On Friday, the dance recital, afterwards, 4 of my girlfriends asked for me to go to dinner for my birthday. It was a late dinner, 9 o'clock, and I said to him after the dance recital, I'm going to go to the dinner, but I'm still free for the rest of the weekend for the girls, no problem. He said, no, you made the decision to go to dinner, you will not see them on your birthday, you will not see them any other, which actually in turn came to...
Not believing it. Maybe. But at the same time, it sounds like she was supposed to have custody of the children that weekend, and she's like, look, I'm going to go partying and drinking first, and he alluded that to in his video. He alluded to that. Right? And maybe it's happened in the past. I'm sure he'll come out with more receipts. Maybe he'll say, every time I go over there, it's always on her time. It's always this. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, for my own experiences, maybe. But it sounds like she wanted to go party and drink it first. She had the opportunity to have her kids that she loves so much. And she's like, no, I'll just pick them up later. And he's like, no, you take them now after the recital or you don't get them. What do you think about that? I'm asking you guys. What do you think about that? Should he have just been nice? I mean, they're not cordial. Obviously, they hate each other, obviously. And so any chance they get to dig at each other, real humans who are co-parenting properly would be like, you know what? No problem. I'll drop them off in the morning. I'll come pick them up in the morning. That's the normal thing to do if you want your kids to have a great relationship with their parents, okay? But at the same time, if the kids are thinking they're going with mom, and then all of a sudden she changes her mind because she wants to go partying, then that can get a little bit frustrating, I think, for kids and dad. Because then the dad has to tell the kids, hey, you're not going to mom's tonight because, you have to either make up a lie or tell them the truth because she'd rather go partying. That's what it sounds like to me.
Why I was so upset on my actual... But I did... Hi. I want what he's doing. But also he's a doctor. He owned a practice and
There it is. That's important. He owns a practice. She's got a large following on social media where she can weaponize it against his practice if she ever chooses to do so. That's all I'm saying. And that has happened.
Clinic, and he essentially runs all his bills through his business, which is fine. But then he pays himself like $350-$400 to turn that in as his financial affidavits.
That's fraud. She's claiming that he's committing fraud, which maybe, but she just said she's not going to air. She just said she wasn't going to do this, but she's doing it. Okay, fine. She's allowed to. Just the lie that started it all shouldn't have happened. She should have, look, guys, I'm about to bring counter receipts. Stay tuned for the tea. And that's what she should have done. Okay, so she's claiming he's doing fraud, but he's doing fraud because he doesn't want to pay her child support. But she doesn't have custody. Why would he be paying her child support?
Which essentially means he makes no money.
A judge would see through that. A judge would be like, looks like you're a doctor and you get paid $350 a week. Is she telling the truth? Come on. Like, I know that there's a case coming soon that I'm going to talk about very, very soon. I know you guys have been waiting for this thing, and that's what's happening. Influencers are trying to get custody of their child, and they're fighting in court, and these influencers make millions of dollars, but on paper, this one influencer only makes a certain amount. So that influencer doesn't have to pay child support, only pays a very, 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 very small amount. Yet the receipts show in excess millions of dollars. And a judge, like, again, I don't know. Maybe it's plausible then.
So I want to point out, you may think I'm like whatever you're saying about me on the internet, but there are other women that have filed restraining orders against him. And if anyone took the time to go look him up as well, that's what you would see. Instead, you see everything you've looked me up, which is essentially coming from one man who is out to destroy my life. That is in the nature of being a Scientologist. That is what they do. And if you know anything about them, you would know that.
She's right. Scientologists are just bananas. Okay, it is a very, very abusive cult. Okay, she's absolutely right about that.
I'm not a perfect person, not even a little. I would never say that. I'm not a perfect mom. I hope, like, no one would say they're a perfect mom. When I got divorced, definitely when I left my husband, I was out drinking, or I was going through it. I mean, I felt like I was literally trapped in an abusive marriage for 6 years. And
she just says things like, oh yeah, I was definitely partying and drinking, doing stuff at the end of my marriage. Okay. And then just goes, but I was in an abusive relationship. Okay, well, you have children. Okay. And it sounds like what's happening, and you got to read between the lines here. You got to kind of pull that out, is that she was living like La Vida Loca right after the end of the marriage and went hog wild because she got freedom from the marriage and all that stuff. But that sounds like how he got custody of the children, because sounds like she got arrested. Sounds like is she going to touch on the stolen money? Is she going to touch on the fake cancer?
And he got scared that I was getting followers from my video and thought, this is the time I'm going to bring her down before she can
yes
ever come out about me.
Yes, that's what it is. I think exactly what it is.
Delete my page yesterday and he would stop. He never stopped.
Oh, so what happened was she goes viral for this loneliness. It was massively viral too, not a little bit of viral, massively viral. And so people are going to be like, well, tell us the story now that you're getting a following. And she's going to tell the story of the abuse. And he's like getting ahead of it. That's exactly what he did. That's what I said.
Obviously, because now he's getting a lot of attention. I don't need anyone feeling sorry for me. That's the thing.
Yeah, you do. You wouldn't film yourself crying while you're making cupcakes if you didn't want people to feel sorry for you. I'm sorry, you don't do that. So don't stop just saying, like, you got a good case on your side here, Elizabeth. You got some great things to say. You got some receipts to present yourself, because obviously there's two sides to this story, three sides to every story. There's your story, his story, and the truth. Okay. But you got your side to tell here, but just don't start with like, I would never throw him under the bus and then throw him under the bus. Right. Even though I agree you should be able to, if he's done it to you, absolutely. And don't say things like, I don't need people feeling sorry for me, when you literally made a video, multiple videos, wanting people to feel sorry for you. Just stop.
I cried on my birthday, and that was like the most like sad thing. I was devastated because he wouldn't allow my daughters to come over, even though he
Finish it. Finish the sentence. You're not scared about throwing him under the bus about other women and having filing restraining orders and all this stuff. Why stop there? If he's a dickhole, explain the dickholery.
The point is that I have tried for 3 years to not expose him on the internet, to not talk about who he is, because as a mother, that is the right thing to do.
So then what are you doing here? Stop saying this. You're taking away, it doesn't work anymore when you say this thing.
My family, my friends, anyone in my life has said, Elizabeth, you have to come forward with what is happening because he can't keep doing this to you. And I have always said, I don't care what he does to me. What I care about is my children.
If you cared about your children, and let me be real, because if you saw the document, there are certain things that she needs to do and complete in order to see her children. Now, her next phrase should be, and I've done all those things that the court ordered me to do in order to get my children back. And if that hasn't happened, then your phrase that you just said there, we don't believe it. Okay? And I'm a black and white type of guy when it comes to things that people, where you walk and talk, what you walk, you should be talking, you know what I'm saying? Walk the walk, talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Your actions speak louder than words. So the next thing in your mouth should be, I did those things. I went out of my pocket, got the psychiatric help I needed. I did number 2 on that court order document, says I have to do this. And then I did number 3. Boo. If you did those things, then you deserve to have custody of your child. It clearly sounds like you didn't do any of those things, though. So you don't just get this, again, just use your brain, folks. Because a lot of people, we're going to see in a minute, aren't using their brain.
Since I have been 16 years old and I became a mother, I have devoted my life and my time to being a mom. Does that mean that I haven't went out with my friends or done stupid things?
Jess fam alert. There it is. There it is. Does that mean I haven't broken the law and done crazy? There it is.
Yes. But there has never been a time my children have...
This is triggering me because this is like shit my mom would say. Okay? This is people in my family are like this, and it triggers me, and I know that people are like, oh, don't project it. You know what? I'll project it. Okay? Because there are these types of people that think they are good people. And yet they'll admit in the same sentence, you know, I love being a mom, but also do I party and break the law and do, yeah, I do that too. Okay? It's one or the other. You don't get to be both here. You don't get to have your cake and cry on camera and eat it too.
Been unsafe in my care. I've never hurt my children. I have never.
And they'll all do this too. And that's, I know, again, I'm projecting. They'll all do this. They're like, you know, my kids are fed. Okay. Just because you feed your kids doesn't mean you're a good mom, okay? If you go out partying all the time because you're a young mom and you're not a good mom. I'm telling you. Going out once in a blue moon, there's nothing wrong with that. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? There's a distinction between a party mom and a normal mom who, once you have children, everything changes, okay? And you'll hear the people who are party moms be like, what, you can't drink anymore? When I was doing videos on Maya Night, this was, what, you can't party, drink anymore? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying once you have children, everything changes. Yes, take care of yourself, but we all know the type of people I'm talking about would prioritize the partying and drinking over the children. We know that. We see it. Okay, that's the people I'm talking about. That's what it sounds like she did. And she sounds like she's admitting that right here.
Put my children in any situation of danger.
Okay.
While leaving my ex-husband, a year before that, I went into what is medically called psychosis from extreme trauma. And
she's dropping all this, and it sounds really, really scary. And you know he's going to drop his things too, right? You know, it's all the things she's left unsaid here is crazy because he just came with a video that said, look, you guys know who she is. Here's a receipt. Here's a receipt. Here's a receipt. And she's crying on camera, not presenting any receipts.
He has essentially every single person in my life turned them against me. Every relationship that I haven't remotely tried to be in, every friendship that I've tried to have, he contacts everyone.
Does he contact them with the truth? That's the question. Is it his prerogative? I don't know. Is it his right? It's kind of icky to like reach out to people that she's friends with and say, hey, look, she faked cancer and all that stuff, but you should know these things. Don't fake cancer though. Can we be there though? Just don't do that. Don't fake cancer for money. Can we do that? Like, I feel like it's cancelable to do that. Don't do that.
He's had this page up for 3 years because I was on social media a couple of years ago just posting for fun. And if anyone even I have a million texts where I've went to post my girls in my videos that are like my daily videos, and he says, delete them now, delete.
Props for that, bro. Sounds like you're kind of a dink. A little bit, I'll give her that. And he's out to, you know, maybe for he thinks for legitimate reasons to be like, look, don't be a friend, don't do this. It's kind of like, ugh. But at the same time, yeah, don't post the kids. Don't do it. Good boy.
Get the girls off your page right now.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I do, because unless you've been in the situation of someone with abuse, mental, physical, it does not matter, you don't even understand what comes along with that. And
a lot of people understand what comes along with that.
Sometimes
a lot of us suffered abuse. Of course we have.
Being quiet is the best thing to do. Again, I will not get on the internet and air my business or trash him.
Stop saying this.
Because one day, I never want my children to see this. But what is going on is not right. Me getting death threats when I stay home with my kids every day is not right.
Your kids aren't with you.
Because a man...
She has other kids, I think, maybe?
...that I left will always try to destroy my life.
Here's the thing. Are the things that you did true? Because she's only got like 20 seconds left here, and she hasn't mentioned anything about the fraud and about the cancer thing. Are the things that he's saying true? Because if that's the case, if you faked cancer for cash, do you deserve people's pity?
Forever. I have a cease and desist. I'll post that.
So she didn't have a lawyer to help her get her kids, but she has a lawyer to help save her social media. That's interesting. Cease and desist don't do anything. All right, so here are the comments. So she tells her story, then things start shifting. And I hadn't seen that. I'm blind reacting to that. His was like receipts and him just being straight normal, blah, 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 you know. Then she comes out, airs the receipt of, I sent a cease and desist letter. Okay. His screen name is Inventing Elizabeth. I think that shows right there how crazy he is. Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, maybe don't call it that, but he's trying to bring attention to what she is. So I kind of understand that too. Wait, for real? He's a Scientologist? That's terrifying. You can't bring any hate. We love Andrew. All you had to say was Scientologist, and that's all I need. See, like, people are going to like all your, and that's it. He's in a cult, and they're like, okay. But are what he is saying, even, I know he's a Scientologist, and that's, maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is. If he is, that's crazy and creepy and weird. I agree with you. But is what he's saying truthful or not truthful? That's what I'm worried about. We need to see receipts. He's a self-proclaimed scientist. That's all you need to know. Anyway, Elizabeth, is he really a Scientologist? He has receipts. Yes. He's a Scientologist. So the man has endless resources to attack her. What? That doesn't... Just because you're a Scientologist doesn't mean you have endless resources. I'm sorry. See, Scientology is what everything got. Everybody... The only thing people took from this video, oh, he's a Scientologist? Okay, you got to watch the video, folks. Watch it. I will never talk bad about him. Talks bad about it. That's what I said. Okay, so here's the website. It's on the Wayback Machine because I think he took it down. My ex did it. Hashtag. Elizabeth, Liz or Myra, or Nicole Weekly claims to be a multimillionaire, lives a luxurious lifestyle, blames her ex-husband or others for any negative information, and gets rather upset when questioned about her past. So the authors of this website, which is the husband, apparently, allegedly, researched court and public records. This approach avoids his word against hers conflict and brings objectivity to the analysis. The reader can go look for themselves, and as a reference are provided in all findings. Summary of findings. So this is it. These are the receipts. Now she can get up there and cry, but did she do the things that he accused her of doing? That's what we want to know. And here's the first page. It was found that admittance, testimony, and even court judgment that reinforces Elizabeth fraud and credibility exist. Those findings are provided here. Evidence of fraud. The first step was to see if there was any evidence in the court system of fraud allegedly committed, and 5 instances were found in the Pinellas County court system, including an actual judgment by the court. Fraud testimony found in court judgment. Oh my gosh, this like goes on, dude. Mortgage payment fraud with $495,000 hit. Pledging husband's name without his knowledge or permission. Fake cancer, fake business. Wow, these are the images. I think I have to... Will the images work? This Wayback Machine is weird. Sometimes it does work. Sometimes it does this, where like it just refreshes itself. I don't know. It's not really working. Maybe because there's so many people on the website right now. Yeah, it's just refreshing. It's not doing anything. So it is loading. I'll let it load. Okay, income. Next goal was to see exactly how rich multimillionaire Elizabeth is. A person's income is a very sensitive topic, so we start with our tried and tested approach, looking at the court system to see if any income or asset information has been found. And it was. See image carousel below. Current income per above is $4,000 per month. So there's another source of income, a benefactor. What does this mean? Okay, so I gotta like let these things just load. Arrest and felony charges. Elizabeth was arrested 8/16/23 in South Tampa. The best way to understand the arrest felony charges is to follow the table of contents below the felony charges. Elizabeth was arrested 8/16/23. She has subsequently been making light of the situation and telling people that this was because of a bad check or something her ex-husband did a couple years ago. She got arrested because she had no idea. So she's blaming her ex-husband. The authors researched these two claims that the ex-husband was involved and the event happened a couple years ago. Scroll to see what we found. This is weird that he's speaking in this third party and it's him saying it. Please bear in mind that the court decides if Elizabeth is guilty or not. This is not website intent to place or make the judgment. The page is solely dedicated to analysis of the two claims. Criminal affidavit. Is this clickable or something? You can click on the image, the statement, the affidavit. Open a checking account with Seacoast Bank. Account opening the deposit with a $100 personal check from her Chase Bank account. On 1447 hours, defendant returned, oh my gosh, where she deposited a check for $10,000 from the same Chase checking account. Went to the Seacoast Bank where she withdrew $8,000 in cash. She then deposited a check for $10,000 from the same check, and then first check for $10,000 was returned for insufficient funds on March 2nd. The second check was returned for insufficient funds on this date. Conducted multiple debit cards, Zelle, and Cash App withdrawals in the amount of approximately $2,400. C-Bank Coast suffered a total loss of $10,000. Defendant Tegenbrock was positively identified in her Florida driver's license. The eyewitness identified her. Based on purely the above, it appears that the account was newly opened in February 2023 by Elizabeth. So it's unclear how this matter is a couple of years old or because of the ex-husband. Also interesting to see that the alleged multimillionaire's account is unable to honor $10,000 checks, but read on, look at the next image. The actual copy of the check. The image of the check under question is also included in the court filings, and one of them is provided here. As is visible, the only name in the account is Elizabeth. The check was made in February, so again, cannot find evidence, at least these documents, of ex-husband involvement. So what sounds like is that she's like, look, I told people on the internet that it's my ex-husband. Like, she's trying to make light of it, that it was just something that was a mistake. So that's why he's doing this, because he's like, no, she's lying to you guys. I didn't do this. Anyway, okay, so you guys, I don't know if the website still is up or anything like that. But so that's pretty much what's been going on to this point. Now, as soon as she dropped that video, if you type in her name, More Than Elizabeth, on here, a lot of people are like, okay, the update is here. He is a Scientologist and he has a website about her that's creepy. Okay? Old TikTok handle More Than Elizabeth keeps changing things to run. Her username is More Than Elizabeth, and his username is Reinventing Elizabeth. And you expect me to believe this man isn't obsessed with her, right? And it's like, again, if you look at it from both angles, like maybe he hates her because they had, they're falling out. But at the same time, if she's going around telling people that he is responsible for her crimes, then can you blame him? She has zero rights to her kids. I wonder why. And then, of course, this person says, "Crybaby ass." That's not a response. What is not mentioned is that the ex is a Scientologist. You think that might have something to do with it? No. I mean, you think unless the judge is a Scientologist? Maybe. How often does a man get full custody? Almost never. She has to be one hell of a dumpster fire for a judge to side with the man. That's what I said. I just find it hard to believe courts would give a man full custody easily. That's the only part. Probably give the bear custody before the man, usually. Obsessed is the least of it. His name is Reinventing Elizabeth. That just shows he's trying to make up a whole new narrative of her that doesn't exist. Just look at the receipts. If there are receipts, it's really hard to argue with that. If he's just making stuff up, then okay. But he's got full-on, dead-ass receipts. I believe she is borderline and he is a narcissist, yes. I probably agree with that. I went to the TikTok of the lady who was crying over making a birthday cake without her kids, and whose ex responded by calling her a liar. And she's responded, "Are you kidding me? The ex is a Scientologist." Is that really all you got out of this video? Is that he's an ex-Scientologist? That's people who like take a 9-minute video and say, "Oh, he's a Scientologist," then I believe everything she says. No, you can't take anybody seriously on both sides then. Okay? If he presented receipts, then come with the other receipts and say then, well, what about this faking the cancer thing? What about this check fraud thing? What about this like $1 million fraud other thing? How do you answer those questions? That's what we're asking, right? He's made some salacious claims that you say are not true, then you need to counter that. Because otherwise it's going to come out. See, this puts his actions in a whole new light for me. Scientologists have this whole fair game thing where they think anyone who leaves the church and can potentially speak out against them can be slandered and shamed into silence. She didn't speak out against the church, though. I don't know the situation, but beware of this man because he is using a lot of textbook abuser talk. A lot of narcissistic men who present as normal and nice get custody after abusing their partners into trauma, and that is misdiagnosed as psychiatric problems. Well, Sarah, maybe you're right. Probably that is true, but she actually admitted to the psychosis, so that doesn't stand. She admitted to it. Matt Walsh said, let's review the steps. She set up the phone, filmed a video of herself crying, stopped the recording, watched it back, edited it, added sad music, posted it, and this is assuming they weren't multiple takes. Truly psychotic behavior. Very disturbing how common this has become. This is where it all started. And then someone said, this is the same account. POV, you're a 28-year-old single mom living in a bougie neighborhood of only 40-plus parents, and you're dancing every day until they are all your friends. I don't think that they're going to be your friends if you're dancing like that. That's really weird. Twerk tears are the new crocodile tears. And now you know why she's single. The husband of her dreams could be along any minute now. Twerking on the front porch and sending up flares on social media seems like a smart strategy to end her loneliness. Jeez. Okay, so this isn't over. Obviously, it's really not. Reinventing Elizabeth, he's done other videos. He's got 1 million hits on this one.
So I just want to get on here and say thank you this morning. Appreciate all the support.
It's... Okay, so here's another one. It says, long story short, don't loan money to More Than Elizabeth or don't expect it back. You are eligible to participate in our bad check diversion program. As such, you are required to submit full restitution and state fees to his office. Okay, so he's just talking about more of the check fraud. More. Oh, here's the full site. Okay, here it is. Here's the cancer one. As mentioned of evidence of fraud, there was mention in the courtroom about Elizabeth faking cancer for donations. Again, this is a touchy topic, but the authors researched it. The reader is invited to pull her phone out, open Facebook, and search the hashtag Cormier Strong. Elizabeth's ex-husband's last name. There's actually interesting information online about Elizabeth. Let's just save that for another day and focus on the cancer aspect today. A few posts were found from early 2021 which referenced stage 4 lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's, with Elizabeth and almost terminal nature. Then posts go silent, nothing is mentioned. Further research is ongoing. The page will be updated. That doesn't really give any evidence at all. So I went on Reddit quickly just to see, and on TikTok gossip. So anyway, follow her. Ex-husband created an account exposing her, and then that tea is hot and piping. He is mad. She's driving around with custom leather options, nice house, nails done, and their kids' child support not being paid. That's really, really important. She's sitting there with $150 nails, crying, while she owes her children $21,000. That can't be ignored either. She's a deadbeat mom, though she got her kids taken in fake cancer and pretends to have this perfect life on TikTok. That's how it always is, though. Apparently, she's on a sock on Twitter spreading the rumor that she was a widow, and that's how I heard about all this. Wow. So there you go. That's the story so far. I'll be following this closely because this really, really is an important topic when it comes to influencer culture. And the things that people will do to make themselves relevant, to go viral, the things that they will lie about, the things that they will hide, and it all comes out eventually. Ruby, 8 passengers, crazy stories. So many people have just been outed by their spouses for faking what they have online. One of the reasons I hate influencer culture, especially when it comes to family vlogging, mommy vlogging, and all these kinds of stuff, is because it is fake. And so many times we see that it is. Almost the point, 99% of the time it is. And so when we call that out, we also are drawing attention to those kids who are currently living in those situations right now, who are living in fake lives, and it could be abusive. They absolutely could be. They could be coerced into doing this at worst, and at best, having their whole life shared on the internet that someone can see from day one. It's not fair. Okay? It's almost like every single time these people get exposed, it's always bad. Always. Jess Fam was exposed for pretty crazy things, and no one seems to care. That's really weird. Okay? Well, you got Ruby at 8 Passengers. You got Dockety Dozen being exposed for some stuff way early in my channel about the things that people said, tying kids to beds and stuff like that. Really, really crazy stuff. Micah Stauffer exposed. Look at the image that she portrayed. It's almost identical to this woman. They portray themselves to be something they are not, and you gotta stop watching them. Okay, that's the craziest part about influencer culture, is that they portray something that it's not true. It's all lies, and that's why it shouldn't be allowed. Okay, it's disgusting. None of them are true. All of these people are buttholes. And again, we got another case coming soon. As soon as I can get it out there, I will tell you about it. It's very similar to this. This woman has done some craziness. Okay, and hopefully it's going to come out real soon. Okay, and they are really large on TikTok. Just growing exponentially huge, and it comes across like the sweetest, most darling couple ever. The truth is going to blow your mind, like this type of stuff. Stop letting influencers into your brain. They're all assholes. Okay, not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, cool. Everybody, take a deep breath. This story has been I've been following it, and it's just crazy when you get into these wormholes, and she's just ugh. All of it. And he's still I'm not giving her, she's obviously that, and I can understand why he's doing it, but if he's not scared that she's gonna expose him for something he didn't do, then that's kind of dickholish too. So just a bunch of everybody's jerks. But she's got some more explaining to do, especially with the cancer faking and stuff. So anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for being amazing. Hope you're following the story. Hope you're doing amazing too. Hope your summer's going well. Hope your memories of the kids are going great. Do something fun. Take your kids to the zoo or something. Cool. You're amazing, incredible, and valuable. Don't you forget it. And I will see you when I see you.